Hello everybody, it's Timothy here and I want to welcome you to my Discovery channel. I'm back to narrating my videos. Yes, I have received your feedback that you would very much prefer the videos to be narrated rather than to read the subtitles. So many of you tell me that the subtitles are coming out too fast. Okay, I hear you. In today's walk, we will go along Upper Penang Road and a portion of Penang Road until the junction of Julia Street. I am also reverting to using the original street names in English, but I will tell you the present names of the streets so that you don't get confused. The distance from here to the Julia Street junction is about 500 meters, but I guess we will cover some 800 meters as we will be doing some detours as well. It will take us slightly over 15 minutes to do this walk. We've just passed in front of us a property known as the Garage. It was originally an automobile repair shop but was converted into an F&B center about a decade or so ago. I think business has not been very good, for it has since ceased operations and is presently unoccupied. The ensemble on our left is a cluster of properties that once belonged to the famous Penang tycoon Law Boon Siew. It includes this beautiful building which is at number 1 Penang Road. Alas, only the facade was retained, with the rest of it fused to the high-rise behind it. The house is interesting not just because of its beautiful facade, but also because it used to be the residence of one of Dr. Sun Yat-sen's wives. Dr. Sun is said to have more than one wife, and Madam Chen Tui Fen, who resided here, was either his second or even his fourth wife. The properties on both sides of Upper Penang Road has become the local watering hole and night spot. But I have not been here in the evening for a long time, so I can't say how's the business here lately. But judging from what I'm seeing in the daytime, I believe many of the night spots have closed down, possibly killed by the pandemic of 2020. This one used to house a night spot called Slippery Señorita, but I think it closed down some time back. If you have an update about this building and the rest along this stretch of Penang Road, do share in the comments below. It is such a gorgeous building, it would be a shame to leave it unoccupied. I hope that by the time this video is published, or a little while after that, some business would take over it. This stretch of Penang Road is known as Upper Penang Road. It used to accept vehicular traffic, but was pedestrianized many years back when this area became a popular night spot. This part of Upper Penang Road has been paved up and they have put up some benches, but I wish they would also plant some trees to give the area some shade, because the sun is intense and from late morning till evening it will be too hot to sit here. And now we reach the intersection of Penang Road with Fakua Street. In front of us is an Anglo-Malay style bungalow called Segara Ninda. The house was originally known as Kudin Kume House and it belonged to a Malay nobleman by the name of Tengku Baharudin Tengkume, hence Kudin Kume. But he is also known by his nickname Tunku Kudin. That nickname Tunku Kudin is a source of confusion because there are two Tunku Kudins in Penang. The other Tunku Kudin has his house in Gelugor, still standing but in a dilapidated state, and I will take you to view it one day. Both are different people. Having said that, I believe there's an error on this interpretive board. Here, it mentions that Tunku Kudin owns Udini House on Bukit Gelugor, but if my research is correct, that is a different Tunku Kudin. I had a chance to visit this house before, but alas, it appears that it is no longer open to the public. but it still looks very well maintained, so that's good. You can get more details about this house and also all the sites we are passing through on my website Penang Travel Tips. Over there, I have a map of Penang Road and all the locations I have described are pinpointed on the map. I will also put a link to my Penang Road page in the description of this video. This side of Penang Road is lined with hotels. When these hotels were built, they were among the tallest buildings in Penang. Since then, we have buildings that are many times taller than this. Nowadays, it's commonplace to have high-rise apartments in Penang that are 40 stories and taller. But over here, we are within Georgetown's World Heritage Site, and so there is a height limit imposed on new development projects. To our right, presently hoarded up, was the original cold storage supermarket. It was one of the first air-conditioned buildings I entered as a child, and also the first place I ever saw an eclair. Right in front of us, now well faded, is one of the wall murals by Ernest Zacharovic celebrating the Trishaw Man. The Trishaws have their hub on this stretch of Penang Road, and we will pass them shortly. And this is restaurant Soup Hamid, famous for its Indian Muslim style oxtail and bone marrow soup. There are many inexpensive hotels like this one along Penang Road. I tried to look up this hotel on the major booking platforms such as Agoda and Trivago, and while they advertise the hotel by name, the moment I click in, I don't see any price listing. So it could well be that the hotels are not listed on Agoda and Trivago, but its name is used to attract room seekers. So to stay in a place like this, Google its name, get the number, and do your booking directly. Next on our right is an ensemble that belongs to the Roman Catholic Church. It includes the Catholic Information Center, Catholic Pastoral Center, the Lighthouse Cafe, the church, orphanage, school, and cemetery. Let's go in and have a look around. All the components of this complex is arrayed on both sides of this driveway. Right in front of us is the Church of St. Francis Xavier. It is a parish for the Indian community and it dates back to 1857, just 30 years after the founding of the Church of Assumption. The church was founded by a French prince, Father François Abt, who arrived in Georgetown to look after the Indian Catholic believers. Most of the Catholic priests who arrived in Penang in the early 19th century, including Father François, was from the Society of Foreign Missions of Paris or Société des Missions Étrangères de Paris. These are all French priests. Nowadays, local priests have been ordained to take over from the foreign priests. Among the last to live was Father Georges Belleville, under whom this church was amalgamated with two other parishes in Georgetown to form Penang's city parish. One of the main components of this complex is St. Joseph's Home, an orphanage for children of mostly Indian parents. And over here is the Church of St. Francis Xavier. Although the church dates to 1857, the building is much more recent. The original structure was demolished in 1899 and was replaced with another building completed in 1902. That one was damaged during the Second World War and had to be rebuilt, and this present church building dates to 1953. Next to the church building is, I believe, a replica of the Grotto of Lourdes with a stone from the grotto. I can't help noticing how quiet this place is, so different from the main road just a short distance away. Further on, behind the church building, is the cemetery, but we won't be going there. I will do a separate video to take you to explore the Protestant cemetery, which is next door to the Catholic cemetery. Now let's return to Penang Road and continue our journey. As you can feel, the compound of the Church of St. Francis Xavier is like a quiet, serene oasis away from the hustle and bustle of the city. It's a place where time almost stands still, although the city is just right outside its door. Over here is the Lighthouse Drop-in Center, a place where people who are in need of basic amenities such as somewhere to bathe or to get medical attention can receive them. The center also provides free meals to those who are needy. Occupying this stretch are businesses under the Lighthouse Ministry. There's a bakery, a gift shop, and a cafe. In front of us is Oriental Hotel, another of the older hotels in town. Coming out of the compound of the Catholic Church, we arrive at Georgetown's Trishaw Hub. They now cater mostly to tourists. If you want to take a joyride around town on a Trishaw, this is the place to go. And over here is Citytel Penang, not a very new hotel, but a much newer one compared to the Oriental. You can see to the left the minaret of the Bengali mosque. It is in a way a reminder that during the 19th century, the people living here were mostly Indians. That was when this part of Georgetown was still rural with mostly village houses. A lot has changed since then, and the village has given way to the town, and today Penang Road is one of the main roads in the city. But remnants of its Indian past is still around, and I will point them out to you either in these or subsequent videos. They are not immediately apparent as the increase in the Chinese population during the third quarter of the 19th century has transformed this part of town from Indian to Chinese. Across from us, to the right, is the junction of Sri Bahari Road. It too got its name from the Indian presence of the past. In this case, it was named after the Sri Kunj Bihari temple, which is still standing but a little further away. Unlike many other cities in Malaysia that are comparatively younger, Georgetown is over 200 years old. Not only that, the places we walk through has been continuously inhabited for that long. The roads we are walking along is about that old too, starting off as village paths that over time were tarred and gradually becoming what they are today. But while the roads are that old, the buildings are not. Most of them are less than 100 years old, built in the 20th century. They replace older buildings that have come and gone, and the appearance of town we see today is radically different from what it was 100 or even 200 years ago. We have reached the traffic island that forms the junction between Penang Road, Julia Street, Leeds Street and Argyle Road. This is where I will end the video, and a subsequent video will pick up from here. So far, I have walked Leeds Street and I will be doing a separate video on Julia Street. As I take you all over Georgetown, I want to help you experience the city and understand it, not just from what is visible today, but also what it was from the past. The city continues to evolve, and old building often takes on new life, as in this case, this is the Odeon Cinema, which housed a cinema and then an interactive art museum some years back, and is now a nightclub. The only constant in Georgetown is change. Over on this side, the buildings were pulled down, the place turned into a car park, and then eventually this hotel, the George, was built on the site. And as we face the hotel, I will end the walk and I'll see you in the next video.